Hello and welcome. I am, as always, your host, Elazar, and this is Dear Esther. I already like the soundtrack. So we got 4 stages. It's a walking simulator, so we are going to walk. Alright.
Dear Esther, I've lost track of how long I've been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see
Pretty.
the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
Alright. Oh, I just flipped on the... That's cool, I didn't even have to do that. The game just did it for me. Now I know, strictly speaking, like all walking simulators, this isn't really a game. I wish I'd taken a chemistry class, I'd know what that is. But that's some kind of hydrocarbon, huh? Whoa! Okay. Oh, that must be the bird. Alright, well, let's keep walking here. Can't jump. Which kind of makes me wonder how I'm supposed to get where I'm going. Oh, we take... This is the path. Do we go this way? This way. I want to go this way. It looks like the road less traveled. I could use some more music, game. I've had this game in my Steam inventory for like 3 years now, and I haven't played it. So I thought it was time. Haha! To play it. Nah, 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 nah. You try to make me fall to my death down there.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Oh, that's so cool. I shouldn't be wowed by pretty terrain, but I am. I also can't go that way, so this isn't the way we were supposed to go. Let me turn my other monitor off so I have a little... Oh! And then I tapped the mouse and it went flying. Alright. Let's get back on track here. So the title screen, like, tells me that there's 4 different levels to pick from. 4 different areas. So given that, I guess I might break this into 4 episodes. Maybe do 1 a week for a little while. Sounds kind of fun. Yeah, there we go. There's lots of paint cans strewn around. And a lighthouse, but I couldn't get to the lighthouse. Well, just let me fall this way? Yeah. Okay. And it didn't kill me. That's good. We're back at the house again. That paint glows, man. Okay, so there's just a million cans of paint here as well. Oh, you're... Oh, hey! I keep seeing that radio tower. Okay, we're not supposed to drown ourselves, apparently. That's good to know. Let's see, last time we went up the track up there, let's go down this track. See what we got. This is pretty desolate country. Is this supposed to be like the Shetlands or something? I feel like I shouldn't be talking because it's going to ruin the effect, you know? But the whole point of doing a video like this is to keep talking. Those crepuscular rays. However that's pronounced. As a physicist, you'd think I'd know that, but I never really studied that. So this is obviously built on the source engine. Excuse me, you can tell from the title screen and stage select and stuff.
Those islands in the distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another time, sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
Somnambulist gods? Really? This prose is awful purple. So yeah, this is the commercial release of this, which came out in 2012, I think. I got it in 2013, probably as part of a bundle, or maybe it was on a Steam sale. That was back when Steam sales actually were good. Okay, I see the spiral of the golden ratio here. Why? Is it like 3 linked chains? Right there on that rock? Like right in the middle of the screen? I don't understand. I don't get what these things mean.
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
A car ran off the road here. Can I go this way? It's not letting me jump thing. I guess it's good for what you're doing, but it's kind of annoying. I'm trying to go places. Okay, so what do we have so far? We have some kind of hydrocarbon, golden ratio, a car wreck, and a house full of paint. What does any of that even mean? And a narrator that's just absolutely gibberingly insane. And I swear, that's like 3 links in a chain right there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, those have to be like the Shetlands or the Orkneys or just somewhere around the Scottish coast. I mean, that's what this feels like to me. I've never been to the Scottish coast, but if I was going to, I think this is what I would like think it would look like. Because I'm an expert. Yeah. Say that confidently, like you mean it. I kind of like walking simulators. Is that paint? Or is it supposed to be paper or what? I can't tell. I kind of enjoy walking simulators. There's a
wonderful sight.
wonderful sight.
The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
Okay. That's the sun, for starters. The moon isn't out. We seem to be heading towards that radio tower. It's the most prominent feature out here.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. Keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Okay, so we're playing a guy who sounds suicidal. How did that car get down in that valley? Did those parts wash up? That seems unlikely to me. I'm walking through the tall flowers because they're really
I quote
pretty.
directly. A motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption.
Oh, look at that.
Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
There's a shipwreck over here. That little fence there is keeping me from going to the left, so we have to come down this way.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Good use of the wind. Can I go this way? Up the creek? So there was a car wreck, is what he just said. I am so probably not supposed to come up this way. Oh, maybe I am. Probably not the way I did, though. Let's go back down here for a second. I feel like I just missed something. Are those the two white lines? I don't know. Outer Isles. Yeah, this is totally a Northern Britain kind of thing, isn't it?
This hermit, this seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why, asked the farmers. Why, asked Jakobsen. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
What is that? Now I'm wondering if I should have come in here instead of going up the thing. Great. I'm not only second, I'm third guessing myself here. So yeah, that one can of paint that I made the comment about that it was glow in the dark actually was glow in the dark. Okay, so we just popped into the cave for no reason. Alright. So this guy's talking to somebody. There was a car wreck. That's what those car parts mean, right? So, car parts, gasoline. Like, is that what gasoline, the symbol for petroleum is? Or the chemical formula for it? I don't know. I have never actually had a formal chemistry class despite being a physicist. I took geology instead, which was a really fun class. Let's see, white chalk. Britain has chalk cliffs. Dover especially is noted for chalk cliffs. The white cliffs of Dover and all.
I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside.
Wow.
My teeth will curl, and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
And a heart without a bottom. So this guy's wife is dead. I'm getting it. So his wife died in a car crash here? I should come up to this, and this should be that crevice that goes out to the sea, and there should be... Yeah. Still don't see how that car got there. I'm waiting on a thing to tell me that, hey, Elizabeth, you've moved from the first chapter to the second. I don't know how long the game is. Oh, that looks pretty. That is pretty, that little brook. I can't go up, that's probably too steep. Yep, there's an invisible wall there to keep me from going up. Okay. So we got this little hinge here. This one has more chemistry stuff on it. Which I definitely do not understand, so let's just keep moving on. We'll go up this way. This is a very artsy experience. Is it the same every time? Is this like always the same landscape, or is this stuff procedurally generated? It has to be the same, right? your story would lose its meaning if it was procedurally generated. Or would it? I mean, that almost killed me. Oh!
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
There was a car wreck. But you know what? We'll end this episode here. Whatever break that was, we're in a new part of the game. So we'll pick up here. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.